Hi guys, welcome back to Chess the Matthew. So on this video, I will show you on how to win in the GROB'S opening in just 14 moves with the first move of g4. So here I play the move g4 and here my opponent replies with the move of d5, in which the intention of his pawn push on d5 is to control the center and opening some lines for his bishop on c8, in which also it attacks our g4 pawn on this position. But here, instead of defending this pawn on g4, I just play here the move d4, in which the idea is to control the center and also opening some lines for my bishop and queen for the cost of a pawn on a undefended pawn on g4. So here my opponent immediately capture my pawn on g4 with bishop takes g4, and here I develop my knight on f3, and here after knight f3, here my opponent immediately capture my knight on f3, for a reason that after bishop takes f3 and e takes f3, we shall see in this position that my pawn structure here is crippled, in which it puts some weakness on my position and also maintaining pawn up on this position for the black's perspective. So here, after e takes f3, my opponent here immediately develop his kingside pieces with that move of knight f6, and here I develop also my bishop to d3. So we shall see in this position that black here is still solid with a pawn up on this position, and here my opponent plays the move e6, trying to open some lines for his bishop on f8, and here I just move my bishop to g5 with the idea of pinning his knight on the f6 with my bishop. So another is vacating my c1 square so that soon I can castle on my queen side, with the prospect of putting my rook on the g open file, attacking his king side if my opponent here will choose to castle on the king side. And here after bishop to g5, my opponent here completes development to the king side by a tempo of giving a check to the b4 square. So here I cover the check and also develop with knight to c3. So we shall see in this position that there is no check because it was blocked by the knight. And again, there is now two squares vacating on my queen side, going to my plan that I will castle soon on the queen side after this queen will be developed on his position. But here after knight to c3, he captured my knight on c3 with bishop takes c3, and after b takes c3, we shall see in this position now that I have no safe home for my king because both sides are open and leaving some weaknesses to my position, and another is I have two double pawns on this position, which also gives some liability to my position. But here after b takes c3, my opponent here immediately castle on the king side, and here I develop with the move queen to d2. Never minding that even though I have some weakness on my queen side with open b file, which puts some vulnerability to the position of my king if I castle on the queen side, but still I hope to castle on the queen side and going for my plan that I will put my rook here to g1 to give some pressure to the king side. And here after queen to d2, my opponent here just blundered with the move h6 with an idea of attacking my bishop with his pawn, but this is a blunder because I can now go with my plan, which is to attack the king side and checkmate the black's king in this position. Because after bishop takes h6, a nice move that demolished the solidity of the king side of black. But here, the good move here after knight to d2 for black is to play the move knight to b7 just to complete his development, and after g1, g6 to stop any threat of a direct attack with an open g file in this position, and after queen f4, bringing some pressure to the f6 knight, and knight h5, bishop takes d8, knight takes queen, and bishop takes c7. We shall see in this position that we regain the pawn for white, but there is just knight takes d3 check, and after c takes d3, rook fc8 attacking the defended bishop, and after this bishop will be moved, then again this pawn will drop on the c3. Even though here we defend with bishop a5, but there is just b6, and after b4, a5, bishop e7, and rook takes to c3. We shall see in this position that still the black here is a pawn up on this position. So after queen to d2, my opponent here blundered the move with the move h6, and I take the initiative here by a sacrifice of bishop on h6 with an idea of opening this line for my rook with a tremendous attack in the future. After g takes h6, I play now here the move queen to h6 and following the move rook to g1, giving a threat of mate in 5. Because here after g takes h6, the move here is to play the move knight to h5 to have some equality, because after rook g1, f5, covering the attack down to h7 to the black's camp, and again this pawn was defended by the knight. So for example, after queen side castling and knight to 7, rook d to e1 attacking the defended pawn on e6, but there is just queen to e7 with unequal chances on this position. So here instead of g takes h6, which is a blunder move, I suggest here for black to play the move knight h5 to go for an equality, because after g takes h6, it follows now the threatening mate in the future after queen takes h6, threatening to mate in 5 after rook to g1. Even though for example my opponent here will cover, but there is just rook g1, and after queen to g5, rook takes, knight takes, and after queen takes g5, there's a mate in 2. After, for example, king move, queen, and checkmate on h7. The queen here was defended by the bishop, so it cannot be captured. So there's no escape, there's no cover, there's no capture. So it's already now checkmate. So after the move queen h6, my opponent here replied with the move rook to a8 with an intention of giving some loop square for his king via f8 and e7, but it doesn't matter because there is rook to g1, so there is a check. So the only defense here is to cover the check. So after knight g4, but still there's just a capture. Rook takes g4 check again, and after the last cover, queen to g5 and rook takes g5 checkmate. It is already now checkmate because there's no cover, no escape, and no capture to the checking pieces. So just to recap, with the GROB'S opening, I win in just 14 moves after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I hope you enjoyed this video and please don't forget to subscribe.